Hello there, YouTubers. I'm trying to hold this thing as steady as I can, but I thought it was kind of neat from this position, but we're going to go up for a ride. Check that out. Whoa. You saw it from the other side, so I figured I'd show it to you from this side, just as a starter. Anyhow, we're going back down now. You just hit this pedal and it goes down quick. Rocks more than I like to have it rock too. When you let it down from the hand control on the back of it, you can feather the speed of it. But when you can't, that's a solenoid, so it just kind of does what it wants to do. I'll put you in a tripod here. Here's what I had to start with. I had to get Mr. Lifted today. Been a frustrating day or an aggravating day or a typical day here at this establishment. I'm sure you guys have all had them too, but it seems like I get more than usual. I guess because I do everything weird. Anyhow, I got the now you're on the tripod in my hand. I got that out of here today, and that was a battle. That was a long battle. Now I have to take those two. There's two machinist what do you call it, vices there. They'll go back up to the mill, clean them all up, take them back up to the mill. They got a little red paint on them, so they didn't rust too bad. Anyhow, let's see, where will we be? I got the boards. The boards moved over here. Got the boards moved over here. I wanted to get, I guess while I was up there I should have showed you. I got one more of those done. I'm just too wore out to do the other one. Let me tell you what was going on in the, I don't know where's a good place to sit. We'll sit over on this side. Oh, I got the, remember the blower was here? I got the blower. We're going to take you in the back if I don't run out of time. This video here is to help somebody out. He's got some question on some things of the sawmill, and he thinks I got the answers. I'm not sure about that. I got something, but I don't know what. Crazybility. Anyhow, let's see. Now I forgot what I was going to talk about. The can't think what I'm thinking about. Mr. Lifted over there. I knew that I couldn't pick up that Setworks by myself. I knew I couldn't pick up that Setworks by myself, so I need to get Mr. Lifted. So Mr. Lifted is kept up in that green shed up there, so I go up there to get the green shed. The door's locked. I never locked the door. Who in the heck locked the door? Well, I don't know where the key is. It's been gone for, I guess that door was put in. It hadn't been locked in maybe 2 years. I don't know how long. Maybe it was done last summer. I don't know when it was done. Anyhow, so now, then I have to go search for the key. So I look. We have a key box that's in the laundry room that has all the keys, and that's where it was. So then I made a label, and where's the Kubota? Oh, Kubota's over there. I have to show you that too. So now I keep the key. Anyhow, so I got into there, but it wasn't locked. It was, I don't know what its problem was, but it doesn't seem that you can even lock it anyway. But I couldn't push it open, and I thought, well, because of the weather, it swelled up a little bit because of all the freeze and heaved the ground that it's on, because it's not on the best foundation in the world, kind of a farmer foundation. Anyhow, I got in there, got this thing down here, started taking it apart, and it was heavy, but I got it back there, and we'll go back there and show you where it's at if I don't run out of time explaining something else. Then I wanted to get the blower out of here, so I got the blower out of here, and that was another, man, that thing's probably heavier than the Setworks, but I got it all out. But it was not, it took me almost 4 hours to do both those two things. It just took a long time and a lot of physical and I just don't have that anymore. Plus I'm having problems with my hand. A couple weeks ago I started having problems with the hand, trying to get a doctor's appointment, and it ain't for another 2 weeks. you know, I don't know what's going on in the healthcare department. I think, well, I could go into that and go into that and go into that, but it ain't been right for the last few years. That's for daggone sure. You used to be able to call up the doctor, yeah, I'm sick, come in, we'll look at you and go on down the road. But that isn't the case anymore. It's a month waiting period just to go in, and he's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. He's going to say, all he's going to do is say, go to a specialist. That's all he's going to do. I'll show you. I don't know if it's in the hand. See, maybe that's about where I got to be. Anyhow, see how you have a big knuckle here on this hand? I guess you're in there. Well, this one here, I think, is knocked off the edge and gone over. I can hit it, it doesn't hurt it, but to move it hurts like heck. And you're going to have to go to an orthopedic surgeon to do that. So you're going to go in there, and the first thing he's going to do is say, go see this guy. And by this time, if it's a busted bone or something like that, because when you get up here, can you see the knots over here instead of over here? See how this one here, the knot's here? Whoops, how this one here, the knot's here? The knot's over there. Well, it hurts like heck. Then going up and down the ladder in the back, shoulders giving out, just part of getting old. Anyhow, so much for the medical nonsense. That's goofy. You ain't here to hear my problems. Anyhow, one of the guys asked me about a couple different things, and I told him I'd help him out and put it in the video. He was asking what this adjustment here, we'll go to this one here, is easier. Maybe I can put it, what this adjustment's for. This adjustment twists this set shaft into the ring and into the ring gear under here for this rack and pinion. So I guess it's the pinion gear, because he's got too much slop in this. I guess that's what he's going for. Now there's a few problems when you start messing with that. Yeah, you can just crank that up, but that means you're going to have to bend this set shaft if it's just one and they're not equal. Now let's say they're all equal and you raise it up. Now you've raised this up, but you have not raised this up. Okay, to raise this up, which we did it, okay, you have to see this mounting bracket here. There's a mounting bracket here, and this has 1, 2, 3 bolts that go into that mounting bracket. They do not go all the way through here. This bolt here goes all the way through, and then there's one there and there's one on the other side. Well, in this bolt down here that goes through, you have to take this bracket off and put a slot in there so you can slide this whole bracket up. Then you have to put a shim underneath here for the amount that you raised these up. Okay, sounds easy, not too much problem. Okay, now on this mill, I went through all that nonsense. See the holes there? That goes to a big knuckle that goes down and breaks there. Then you have to shim all those up. Okay, because it's all got to come up in the same even plane, and that's hard to do, and I had enough problems with it that I just got tired of it and just, well, I took those off. There were 6 of them on here. There's 1, 2, 3, there's one down there, 4, 5, maybe there's more than 6, there's always one at the end, 7. I took all those off. Now the reason I could take those off, and maybe you can't, but I think you can, is got to go around the other side. These beds, I bolted them to my carriage. Okay, so you can kind of get away with that if you do that. Let me see if I can push this forward. Oh yeah. Well, I ain't got much push left. See down in there? These are bolted in the front and bolted in the back. Now, if you bolt those in, you're a little safer, because when you reseat on a big log, I'm talking a 36-inch or something like that, and you reseat a little further back, then you roll that log in there and you don't have your carriage holders on. There's Frick had some in the back that I don't know how good they worked. Okay, you stand a good chance of tipping these over. And if you just roll these back, there's a point where that L is heavier off the end than it is, and it'll flip these L's over, and that's just, you don't want to see that. That's not a pretty situation. It bends everything and cranks everything out of disorder. So Frick was made so you could either set them in place or move them. The old mill in the back, they're movable. There's not much reason to ever change the front one. But I do in the one in the back because it's such a small carriage. I think I can do a 4-foot log here, and then that I can do a 5-foot log, and then from there to there I can do an 8.5-foot log. I have it all set off so I can do just about any size log and not have any overhang, because you don't want an overhang if you can keep away from that. Anyhow, I think that answers the question on how to do that. If I could have showed you that. Oh, these pieces here, I guess I forgot to say, these little, I don't know what they call them, bearings or something like that, that you raise up. You also got to put them in a mill and put a slot in them so you can come up out of that hole. So you're going to have to slot that. You're going to have to slot that. You're going to have to shim this up, shim that up. It ain't worth it. When you start pulling in, when you pull in, okay, and you might want to do that when you're pulling the log in. Don't saw until you've taken all the slop out of it. In other words, and you'll watch Mark, he does that too, for a couple reasons. Number one, if that log's going to move, you want it to move. So also, if there's any slop in those gears, you want the slop to be all the way one way. It really doesn't, you're doing rough cut lumber, and in the long term scheme of things, it really isn't going to make any difference. So I hope that answers that question. I hope tomorrow to get this mess cleaned up, get Mr. Lifted back where he belongs, get this log metal detected. Not sure what I'm going to do with the boards, not sure what I'm going to do with the wood off of these either. I had an idea and then I forgot what my idea was, and it was a good idea. I said, oh man, that'd be perfect, but I don't remember what I was going to do with it now. So I had to come up with that. We're going to run down, I'll show you if there's it's probably running out of light. It's a mud hole around here. So there's not much other stuff I can do. If it stayed like this a few more days, I could probably get into the high part of the woods and drop a couple trees. But right now, to get anywhere, once you get down into, we're in the, I guess, I don't know if you can tell that we're at the low bottom of the hill. And it is gushy here. Oh, Lordy. I'll go back and show you some stuff. Oh, I'll tell you what I did today, and you guys have never done it. Think about it, what I did today that you guys have never done, and I won't leave you suspended 2 days in a row. Can you see the slop down here? I'm spinning, just making mud pies. Oh, you know, if the ladder's back here, I might be able to show you some of the stuff on that mill. Saw, I guess, a herd of deer go through, I don't know, an hour or two ago. There's 12 of them. Hunter was up yesterday and I don't think he saw any. All right, here's where we're at. I guess you can see a little bit more. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to get that Detroit running. So this is the piece frame. It's bolted together there. It's bolted together there. I don't know if you can see these bolts. There's bolts here. That bolted in the mid frame of the tractor. There's the two drive shafts. There's the piece here that goes on top of that thing. And the reason I got that, it's just backup. You know you got to buy it if you need backup. Now here's that same piece right here that holds the drive shaft. There's the gearbox. There's the front piece. I don't see there's the two drive shafts down there. Where's the piece? There's another piece I'm missing here. I don't Caesar it. Well, it's probably up here. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of my eyes. This piece here. This is that square piece that goes on the goes on this box here, and this whole thing is the snowblower that goes on my tractor. I just keep it on a pallet here, and if I need it, I just pick it up, take it up, put it in the garage, then drive the tractor up there and switch it out, which if you're energetic, you can do it in a short time. You can't see it. It takes all different kinds of tools. In that box there is a written list of everything I need and the procedure for doing it, just because I don't do it very often. I haven't put the snowblower on in probably 5 years, because then I can use the tractor more, which is I don't know. I'm ready for snow. And there's somewhere around here there was a ladder. Here it is. I had it in, had it out, had it in, had it out. Getting those things up here, like I said, took almost 4 hours. You would think, oh yeah, you can just put it up there. It don't go like that. It sounds good. Yeah, it's a little wobbly, but I'm a little wobbly, so between the two wobblies, it'll be fine. But there is the blower now. Here's that piece. This is those things that go on the back. And see, you have to slot them a little bit so you can raise them up, because you're not going to go down. That would pull it away. That wouldn't make any sense. This is up here. I don't know whether I can spin this around. Yeah, it doesn't spin too bad. But you can kind of see this is one piece here and then goes down that way, and then this is just an L. I can't get up there. I don't think you're not gonna be able to see that. It's just not enough light. But you have to slot this piece here to get that to raise up. And that was this beast here. That blower's pretty heavy. But it didn't come about going on. Maybe down the road it'll come on. Come down slowly. There's sawmill parts. Have you guys ever seen all the sawmill parts? There's a thing they call a electric typewriter. And I never heard of one of those. I think it's very rare. It might be from another planet. There's a pulley off another thing here. That's the top pulley. There's the. You guys ought to recognize that. That's the mandrel. That's where the saw blade goes for the top saw. These are just extra bearings here. Sawmill parts, all #1 sawmill parts. There's no other things. Pulleys. We got pulleys down there in case you need pulleys. Over here, there's more pulleys. You never have enough stuff. That's what I'm going to be getting into next. See those big hoses back there? That goes to a Chewy. But I don't know if you're going to call that one Chewy. You might. So if you think you've seen enough parts and you're new here, you haven't seen enough parts yet. Old Jeep. I put, if you leave the hood up, the mice don't get under it as often, but then all the debris from the bees born up there in the wood gets on there, so you can't win. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I haven't started setting my mouse traps out yet. I got to do that. I'm behind. Here's more #1 sawmill parts. Wayne, you know about these things? Hey, buddy. Now that you're good at doing those, I might send this one over, because one of them's got locked up bearing, but you know me, I'm cheap. I'll probably just bang it a couple times, put some oil in it, it'll loosen up. Here's another #1 husk. Now this is the reason I went to steel. See, this thing's just sitting back here, self-rotting away. But I'm gonna go ahead and redo one of these, I think, and put it up, make it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's on the list, but it ain't on a happy list. Here's part of a Jeep of the freaking Jeep. I need to get these running. I'm still working on that other one that's been in the barn. I hammered on it a little bit during the real cold weather, hoping that the cold weather made it shrink down. The block maybe shrunk down more than the steel that was in it, but I still didn't have any luck. That's the plate that I put on here. There's a couple bolts that hold it in place. So I did not have enough room. If you can see in that blower, I did not have enough room to have an extra inch of space up there. So it just got slid directly in there, and I still had to push a little bit to get it under that bracket, but that's its new home. Anyhow, I guess that's about a wrap for today. Oh, I know what I told you. Now I just remember. I was mowing grass today, guys. That's what I did. How many people you guys know, or anybody out there mowed their grass in December right after Christmas? Well, it just happened to be a thing that got done. The wife's having a party, and it looked a lot better getting all that. I windrowed it away from the house so it looked better. There was still a bunch of debris and leaves and stuff. I should have vacuumed it, but I ain't getting the vacuum out yet. But there was another reason I did it, which is important. If you have a piece of equipment like that, and you get a nice warm day in the wintertime, go out and start it up and let it run and come up to temperature. Exercise it, basically, is what I'm saying. So it got its exercise today, and then I blew it all off and put it away. And it probably won't come out again till spring, but I might exercise it if we get, like in, let's see, January, February. If we get a warm day in February, I'll start all the equipment up. Tomorrow, that's kind of on the list. Start everything that hadn't run in a long time up. So, how many of you people out there, leave a comment below, through the winter, when you have a warm day, don't try to do it on the coldest day. That's not a good thing to do. But on a warm day, just start things up and let them warm up to temperature, and then shut them back down. It charges the batteries. It does them good. You know, so if you're not doing it, I kind of recommend it. If you are doing it, you're a smart person. Not that I'm a smart person. Getting goofy here. Anyhow, do me a favor. The sun's about going down. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm wore out for today, and I got a long list of things to do tomorrow. And no, I didn't buy that rusty rollback. You guys were there was nobody said you should have bought it. Not a single person, which is good. I think somebody said something about it being free. If it was free, I wouldn't even want that thing, because free doesn't mean easy. Free just means anybody gets something free, it usually requires work. If you have to be, what is it, the old saying, to be cheap, you have to be physically fit, because there's going to be a lot of work involved. So that was cheap, but there was going to be a lot of work involved. So it just wasn't for me. Another person asked what I needed for. I wanted to put a rollback on the back of the white truck with a knuckle boom. That's only got a 15-foot deck. That would give me 2 more foot of deck, number one. Number two, if I had a car break down, or if I wanted to take a Jeep someplace or something like that, I could just roll it up on there, or who knows. It's just handy having one of those things. And so that's kind of the reasons. And I had, if you look in the back, did anybody go back? There's another question. Did anybody go back in the back video, past video, and by the old sawmill, see the rollback in there? Because there used to be a rollback back there. 2, maybe 3 years ago now. I'm not sure how long ago it was gone. Anyhow, I'm just rambling on because I do that good. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell if you want to see what kind of mischief I'll be into tomorrow. Planning on sawing that log. Just depends on how things go tomorrow. Anyhow, over and out. We'll see you guys now. Bye-bye.